Leica.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I actually worked for Brandon. Yeah,
Welcome.
All right, welcome back. It's time for another Street Life. What just happened to my camera? Welcome back to another episode of the Street Life Show. It is June, the end of June, which means time for some street photography news. What is going on? Man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, as you can see, we are live. This is not edited. So, time for the timer. 60 minutes. Let's go. I'm here again with my co-host Tim Wynn from Hawaii. How are you doing?
It is 9 a.m. I just kind of woke up.
You just woke up. Man, what's going on with my camera? What is this? Sorry.
This might be the highest rated show if it's like this. The cutting out black and white.
You know, we got some feedback for the last show, and the feedback was that we take too much time until we start. Sorry for that person who is watching again, maybe.
It gets worse as the episodes.
Yeah, and I even prepared a little.
I felt like our
Wait.
best, smoothest episode was episode 1.
Probably. Okay, wait. Everyone, quiet. Listen up.
Street photography news and discussions brought to you by Samuel Lintaro and Tim Huynh. Moderating the chat, as always, is Elmar, the beast from the east.
The beast from the east.
Wait, I have another version which is still English, but a German voice.
Street photography news and discussions brought to you by Samuel Lintaro and Tim Huynh. Moderating the chat, as always, is Elmar, the beast from the east.
Okay, so yeah, obviously this was AI. I generated this voiceover because Epidemic Sound has this new feature and I wanted to try it out. So who knows, maybe we're going to start the show like this. Okay, so this time we don't have a main discussion topic, no topic to discuss other than some news. Just because we couldn't find a good topic and other topics we wanted to talk about, it's better to do them later because I have some guests in mind for these topics. But we have like 6 news topics to discuss, and because last time we didn't show our photos, we have some more photos to show. So basically we have 2 months worth of photos to show. Well, some of us. So we will spend some more time showing photos of us, from us, and yeah, we can discuss the news in detail if we want to. So, as always, Elmar is the moderator. He is going to check the live chat. If you want to add to the conversation, then leave a smart comment, and he might read it out to us or not. And yeah, let's go straight into the news section. Shall we? Okay, so news. To be honest, it was not easy to find street photography related news. We had some camera releases, but I didn't want to talk about camera releases again. So I went on to Google, searched for some street photography related news and found a few articles. So we're going to look at them. We also have something that Tim wants to announce at the end. And yeah, let's go straight into it. Tim and Emma, they don't know what we're going to discuss today. So for them, it's also going to be new news. And as always, please don't come here to get all the facts and information. I'm going to present to you whatever is relevant to us, what that happened in this month, and we're going to react to it. We don't always do the best research, but I think it's fun that way. So, okay, first article I found here on Petapixel is this story. Also, as always, after the show ends, I will provide links to all the tabs that I have open here, so you can also do some browsing. So there was this one photographer. He went to a cemetery in Paris and took this photo. And yeah, it is a nice moment. It's a moving photo, but the context he gives us here in the article makes this more interesting, because he actually had a conversation with the subject. And I will try to summarize the story, but basically he took this photo here of this moment. And of course, he took it without asking first. He thought it was a nice moment. Let me actually find the photographer's name. I think it was something with Simon. Yeah, I'm very well prepared. Why isn't that saying who the photographer was? I guess I have to go to his. Yeah, Steve Simon. Sorry if Steve is listening. So this is actually his website, and he wrote an article on his website, and Petapixel made an article out of it. So he took this photo, and then he asked this lady, was this family member? He asked something, and she said that like someone died that was kind of like a daughter to her. So she's not related, but she was kind of like a second mother to this person. And he showed her the photo, and then she came back later via mail, I guess, with this kind of a poem she wrote back, which is here. I'm not going to read it out, but basically she said that so this person who passed away, her name was Suzanne. I hope I pronounced that right. And yeah, she basically said that through this photo, this Suzanne person showed herself again to this mother too, she calls herself. So in a way, this street photographer gave her like one last moment, or one more moment with her. Sounds all like kind of made up and too beautiful to be real. But I wanted to share this because it is a beautiful story, and it shows that sometimes you can enrich someone's life because you're taking photos of something that you see, and you can share also your street photography. And something like this did not happen to me yet, but I had similar-ish moments where I talked to the subject or the person I photographed, and then got to know more about what they were doing. And then I was able to also share this moment by sharing the photo. Definitely read this article. And this is a good piece in support of street photography, because we often think that, street photography is you're just taking because you want to have a cool photo to share online. But in this instance, this photographer actually gave a lot back with this photo, even though he did not ask first. And he even asked this person, how did you feel that I did not ask you, and stuff like that. And so that was, very interesting to read. But unfortunately, there were also some people in the comments saying that, this person was saying, I don't get it. This is a snapshot at best, no matter what the context is. If you put this in another context, like just like a photo on this website or on social with no description, people would think big deal and move on. We have to take Steve's word for it. And so this made me question, maybe this guy is also right, because you have this story, but it could also be made up, right? We don't know. Like, this is also a problem we are facing now with AI and generated images, that on top of the image being hard to prove that it's authentic, we also don't know if we can trust someone's story behind the photo, right? So I thought I'd bring it up here to maybe ask you guys, what do you think about this?
Well, the photo itself, it's kind of everything kind of blends in together because it's in black and white, so it's very hard to see the different subjects and dimensions in it because it's in black and white and it's let me try to look it up, pull it up here.
It's not.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
it's
don't
kinda
think
flat.
I don't think it's a bad photo. But
yeah.
I can see why people would say like, without the context, you know. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she's putting her head onto this tombstone, so the story is clear. But the first assumption or guess I would make is that this is probably a relative. But knowing that it's not a relative, but just someone close to this person, makes it more interesting to me. But this is just a story that you hear, context that you cannot read in this photo. But I like these quieter moments. So if I would see something like this, I would also stop and think, you know, it's kind of beautiful because this person is not like crying or emotional. She's just showing her, you know, affection or closeness to this person who passed. The person on the bottom is kind of distracting, but maybe this is someone who belongs
Yeah,
to this person.
the head there, it kind of blends in with the plants a little bit, the
Mm.
hair. But my eyes went straight to the tombstone, the dates.
I see.
So I think without this background story, I mean, I didn't read just basing off what you were just mentioning. I think
Yeah.
it's better. It's better not knowing the story
Yeah.
because you can kind of create your own story, but.
Yeah, that's
And
also
then
an
once you kind of
interesting,
explain it, when you explain too much, then it opens that can of worms where people think you're lying. I think the person Steve is I'm gonna choose to believe it.
Mhm.
But I don't think it helps elevate the story because you're saying too much for me.
Mm.
You know, for a single image. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see your point. I can also understand why he wanted to share this story.
I like the figurine too. The figurine next to the angel, next to the girl's head. So that one is kind of the same.
Right. Yeah. You mean this
kind of the
little
same there.
angel
So it's
figure?
like, so it's like maybe that's the person Suzanne.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's kind of a metaphor there. But I'm curious to see how this would look in color.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the black and white, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, without the person on the bottom, it would be much better. You can even see the face down here. See, which is probably
yeah. See, so it's really hard to see because I mean you gotta really, at first glance, you're just gonna see maybe whatever catches your eye, the girl's face or the tombstone. So you need to take a good minute to really look around because I didn't see that photo on the ground there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what it looks like in color. Maybe it's better in color.
Maybe even like a vertical shot with more details on the bottom. I think for this article, or what it was supposed to be, which is just a nice backstory to a photo, which maybe inspires some people to think about street photography in a more positive light. I think that's a good way to share something like this. But I also agree with you that if you share too much, then the magic is kind of gone because you stop making up your own story. Yeah.
Does Paris, the geography of shooting in Paris, have anything to add to this at all, or I have no experience shooting?
I don't think that's
Nothing
a relevant detail here. It is a candid image, unposed, unplanned, and deeply human, it says here. So, yeah. But I'm all for these seemingly simple, unexciting moments that have more of a backstory than just a visually interesting photo, where there's maybe no real story behind it. I'm reading the comments here. Augengas is saying, the text on the stone is making my head spin. Nowhere is, here is now, where is now. Yeah. That's also something we have to consider when you have text in the photo. We start to read it and we can't look away. We always have to read the text. I just wanted to start with this, not discuss this to death. That was not a good way to say this. I mean, oh man, this episode, I can see this is probably our most chaotic episode. I don't want to be disrespectful. I mean, I wanted to start with this because I thought it was a beautiful story, okay? I like this article. So please read it, get inspired, and share photos with your subjects if you can. That's all I wanted to say. Let's move on. Okay. I've seen these reels on Instagram as well, because Instagram kind of decides without asking us what they want to show us. And this reels from this photographer were making its way into my feed, and I saw these, but I didn't really pay attention. I just scrolled past them. But I just asked you before the stream, and you also saw these. So this photographer, he's called Ichban on Instagram. And he does these reels where he basically shows what I see. Here it says what I see, and then the photo he takes with this frame, which he has in the video, and then you see the photo. I mean, this is we talked about POV photography last time, how it takes away the magic of a photo if you already see how it was taken, what happened around the frame. Like here, for example, of course, this is a cool shot, but I kind of like this one also, to be honest.
I've seen this too. This one, it fed me this on Instagram. I guess it caught a lot of attention, but
yeah, it got a lot of attention. That's why they made this article about it. But we haven't seen a lot of videos like this. I know I have seen, I think here, Omar Gonzalez, he also made a video, like a POV video where he, it's a long time ago, 2 years ago maybe, but I just remember his video because I thought it was a cool idea. He was filming with his GoPro POV, and then he would place frame lines into the footage. So similar to this, and then show the final result. But do you think what do you think? Is this a cool idea? Does it take away from the magic of the photo? Like from what I'm reading in the article, it helps people also to understand how to see something, because of course from this distance you would not recognize the reflection, right? With this one, it's just a crop, so, and the subject is already here, so it's not like revealing like a really clever composition or something like that. But with this photo, I can see how, especially like beginner photographers or people who are new to street photography, feel amazed by this. But again, it makes this kind of entertainment again, right? Content, street photography content.
I think another good thing to point out is what people what people share is not what always. I mean, you're seeing what their final output is, right? So if he didn't show the what I take, and you just saw the what I see, you have no idea like how the heck did he get that. And that's what Instagram is all about, is just showing your best work, right? Or your best life, basically. Like you're traveling everywhere and all this, but you don't know the whole backstory to it. So this one kind of feels like that, where I get the whole backstory, and then I don't know. I kind of lose interest once I see the backstory, something like this. But I see, based on my POV video, a lot of people like it.
Yeah. There's this element of how do you say? I'm sure what happens here is also that you see the frame, and then you can't swipe away because you want to see the photo, right? You see the frame, you're like, okay, then show me the photo. And then you see the photo, and then maybe for some people this gives you like a little dopamine hit because you saw a reveal of something that you had to imagine. So you have to, first imagine the photo, and then this guy shows you the photo. So as a consumer of his content, this element is probably addicting to for some people, like, oh, there's this frame. Okay, I have to see the photo. What happens is
actually it's pretty interesting too, because based on this portfolio here, it looks like he sees 50 feet down, like 50, 100 feet down. He doesn't look at things right. Yeah, he doesn't see things immediately, like within 8 feet or so, like a typical street photographer. So he's probably, as he's walking, he's looking 100 feet down. That to me is interesting, because I don't process that way.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna look.
He
down
probably had a
blocks.
zoom lens here, and then he just zoomed around until he found his photo, and then took this photo afterwards, probably.
Yeah, but it is an interesting process, I guess.
Yeah. So, and okay, this reminded me that I actually did something like this in my videos very early on, but only in one video. And at that time I thought, this is cool, I need to continue doing it. But then for the next episodes of that series, I forgot to do it, or I just forgot to continue doing it. And that was, I was doing it in the very first On the Street With episode that I did with Carl Edwards. And I prepared this screenshot here. And now I kind of want to do it again, because I think for this series, I walk around with other photographers. We have this 360 camera we see around us, and we are taking photos together. And then only for the moment when he took the photo, you hear the click, and then you see the frame lines pop up. You don't see it before he takes the photo. And I think when I watched this back, because I was like, I did do this too. So I checked this video and I thought, if I make this into a reel, I probably can also get some more followers on Instagram. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to play with something like this. So I think I'm going to try to implement this in future episodes, because just to make it more interactive. So this is like a long form content, right? So in order to compete with the short attention span brains we have nowadays, it might not be a bad idea to do something like this, So, okay. Food for thought, as they say. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is not really
Whatever happened to Carl Edwards, by the way? Whatever happened to him?
Good question. We do chat sometimes on Instagram, but it's been a while. Must be like a half a year.
His channel was active like 10 years ago. It was pretty active.
Yeah, I know. From what I know, he got busy with work and just couldn't keep up with his blog and the content on YouTube. And then for a short period, he went back into it. He actually had a street photography news format.
Right. Yeah.
Which was cool. I don't know. But maybe I can reach out to him here. He can hop on here, yeah.
Yeah.
He has probably lots of stories to tell, because he was, another source for sure when I was starting out, his blog. Okay. Next thing I wanted to share is just a podcast episode, Street Life podcast. It's not my podcast, even though they stole my name. No, just kidding. Street Life, amazing podcast with John and Mark. And the latest episode is with Eduardo Ortiz, who was also a topic last time, I think. We touched on him just briefly. And I never really got to know him as a person, like his background. So even though there's this one long video on YouTube, which I guess made him a bit famous. But I was listening
Internet
to this
famous.
podcast.
Internet famous.
Internet famous, yeah. No, but I was listening to this in my car, and I thought it was a very good interview. Like, because there were also some topics coming up, like, you know, how street photography got a bit more mainstream, and how current modern street photography is kind of replaceable. You know, he often used the word like soulless, which I know we can also resonate with it a bit. And then, but also learning about that he started street photography in Germany. I found that super interesting because he was of the opinion that it's not that difficult to do it in Germany. And I didn't know that he has no like base. He's always traveling, but seems like that if you follow him on Instagram. So yeah, just wanted to share it here. Check it out. I thought it was cool. Made me motivated to take some more photos, because he also touched on workshops, because he's giving workshops, and I think John was asking him what he thinks about the current trend of everyone doing workshops. I also just recently started to do group workshops, because it seems to be a new trend that a lot of street photographers run workshops. Like, yeah, a lot of people.
Get that money.
Okay.
Yeah, get that money.
You'll never really hear me be opposed to anybody trying to make money or trying to cut deals. Because I know I just did a video. It's like a marketing, like how to market yourself as a street photographer, but I changed the title because it wasn't really performing as well. But basically, that's what it is. And it was my first sponsored video. And I think it was good to touch upon marketing within street photography, because a lot of, it's hard to, a lot of people don't like to mix art with marketing, because it's kind of like, oh, you're a sellout or whatever. But, deep down at the end of the day, many people do want to monetize of some sort with what they're doing passionately, right?
Yeah.
So
everyone is free to do what they want to do, right?
Yeah.
But I found what I found interesting was just how they talked about what makes a good workshop, what is important, and how to improvise and motivate people to, go out of their comfort zone without pushing them too much. But he was sharing the story of how everyone was kind of hesitant, and he really wanted them to lose up. And then they went to a very sketchy area in the city, or a dangerous place. And then they got into some trouble, or he showed them how to get into trouble, but then how it is actually not that bad. You can always talk your way out of it. And then they went back into the safer parts of the city, and suddenly everyone was super relaxed. They had no fear anymore, because they went to that more difficult place first. So, yeah. Okay. We have the first gear news. Vyper released a new 21mm lens, and I happen to make a video about it. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite lenses to use on my Nikon ZF for street photography is the 28 version, the 28 Chimera lens. The thing I love about Vyper is that they are just so great for manufocusing, and it sounds so simple and obvious because it's a manufocus only lens, but there are so many manufocus only lenses that just don't get the distance scales right, or there's not enough of a focus or too little focus throw, so you have to be super precise. And Vyper seems to always nail it. For example, the 28 version has distance markings up to 10 meters, and then comes infinity, which is so helpful because, you can stop down your lens, but sometimes I want to zone focus f2.8, so I need to be more precise. So their lenses allow me to be very precise. So I actually reached out to them because I wanted to try the 75, because I had a portrait shoot coming up, and I thought maybe they can give it to me for a review and I can use it for this portrait shoot. And then they asked me if I want to try this new lens that is coming out soon. They told me it's going to be the 21. Then I was interested, but not super excited because that's not really my focal length. And but a 1.4 21 could be interesting, I thought. So I agreed, and I made a video about it. And sorry for all the other people who did a review, but looks like I'm at the top of the Google search. I'm sorry. But that also has to do with not many people doing reviews. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of reviews on this lens. And they sent me this lens like in March and April already. But they couldn't decide on the release date. But I already had shot my video. It was already finished. And then I had to move on to other projects. So I only spent like 10 days or 14 days maybe. And yeah, I just released a video about it last week or this week. And I actually made one thing in the city my main subject, because there was this huge plastic whale in the middle of the city for 3 days. And I came back to this whale like 3 times in a row, just to use this lens and document this happening. And this is just an art installation. It's not a real whale, but they were pretending. So this artist group from Belgium was pretending that this was real, and they hired actors that would pretend to be like a research team. So yeah, like spectators would come and ask questions, like, why is there this whale? And then these actors would say like, yeah, we don't know. We found it this morning. And, and a lot of people believed it. They thought it was real.
Despite not having a smell, it didn't have a gamey smell.
It actually smelled fishy. They poured some fish oil or something on it. Yeah, it smelled. It had a smell.
So how long were you there photographing that scene? How long were you?
So the first day I was only there for maybe 1 or 2 hours. And then the next days I was there maybe like 2 hours and took a break, then another 2 hours.
Just that scene.
Yeah, just that scene, because I wanted to see it at different lighting scenarios. And then there was this lady here drawing the whale, and this is actually my friend Delma here on the bottom. He brought his large format camera to take a photo of it. But in the end, it was just people looking at the whale, taking photos with their phones. But it was a good excuse for me to try this lens. So just sharing some sample images here. The thing is, though, and I'm saying this in the video as well, it's a cool lens. I like the bokeh, it looks beautiful, and it is kind of enough, is sharp enough, wide open. But I shot it stop down the most of the time. And I felt like, why do I need this lens if I use it stop down, for street photography? So I would actually get a smaller lens if you want to do photos like this or with this perspective.
There's no fisheye or like a kind of like a warp. It's pretty. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
and
it's
clean.
not. There's no fisheye distortion.
21 can be fine.
And it has these. I don't like the flares that the Leica Samara lenses are doing. I mean, you see the little sun stars, with the reflections. That's cool, but the flares are not so pretty. I don't like it. The 28 seems to be a tiny bit better. That was also my criticism, that the 21 has, I don't know, a little bit more of an ugly flare to me, at least. Yeah, and I used to stop down most of the time, so it's not really, doesn't really make sense. I should have used it in the night, or do some low light photography, but, in summer here in Germany, it gets dark after, 10 p.m. or even later, so I didn't want to stay up so long. But it does work very well for zone focusing. It's pretty easy to nail focus. And yeah, and it is interesting to use 21. I'm so used to 28. after I did this shoot, I went back to my GR and I thought it's not wide enough because I got used to 21. And it's kind of useful for when you want to show like everything that is happening, foreground, middle ground, background, and maybe some close-ups. But yeah, here you see the flares again. It's not so pretty in my opinion. And I was using a flash. I bought this Godox flash IM30. And here you see the bottom is not lit up from the flash because the lens is too long for the flash. That's another downside. If you want to use this lens for street photography, you need a flash that is higher, sits higher. So that's another downside when you use it for street photography. Okay. Yeah, it's available now for, I don't know, 800 something bucks. People ask me, how does it compare to the Voigtländer 21 1.4, but I don't have access to that lens. My guess is that it's going to be sharper, the Voigtländer one, but probably less pleasing bokeh. But yeah, I did end up not liking this lens a lot, but it's a decent lens. But for street photography, I would just recommend get a small, really small 21, unless you are a night.
That one looks heavy.
Yeah, you shoot street photography at night, and maybe this is cool. But I really want them to make a 40mm 1.4. I told them that, but
that'll be good.
We will see. If they make one, then I want all the credit. Okay, next news. Really important news for the street photography community. Your next street photography camera should be this Leica M11D Centenary set. So, Leica is celebrating their 100th anniversary since their first 35mm film camera, the Leica. And I think yesterday, June 26, they showed off this new iteration of the M11. It's the M11D, which has no screen. And this is kind of an homage to that Leica 1 model. I'm sure they have a photo here. Let me they do not. This is Petapixel, but did I not prepare this? But you all know this very small camera that was the first 35mm film camera. Super small.
Looks cool.
Like a M screw mount, not M mount, but screw mount. So this M11D is an homage to that camera. And what they made is, when you look at the shutter button, for example, has this raised thing here, and it's messing, I think, the material, which is not like silver, but more like more bronze color, but brighter. Also no thread for putting on a shutter release button. I don't mind this design, but I think what they did here around the shutter button, which is how it looked like on this very old Leica camera, does not quite fit this modern M camera, in my opinion. Because if you look at those two cameras side by side, they have a video where what's his name again? Stefan. I forgot his last name. But the guy who always talks about the new camera. He has both cameras on the table, and he even was saying, like, this is a direct successor of this old, first 35mm film camera. But they look so different in terms of size. And it's cute, it's cute. I like it. But if the camera would be smaller, I think it would fit better. Because the M11 is not like a super compact camera. And they also came out with a special edition of their Micro Four Thirds camera, the Deluxe 8, which I think looks even better than the M11D 100 years version. I really like how it looks. Of course, we know the lens, not retracts. The opposite of that. What is the word? Detracts? No, it goes out. Tim, help me out.
Extends.
Extends, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So if the lens would be like this, awesome, but it does go out a bit. But I like, I'm a fan of silver lenses on black camera bodies, and I think it looks beautiful. Now, here it makes sense, it fits. It's a small camera. It makes sense to how do you say, vintageize it, if that's a word. With the M11D, I find it a little bit gimmicky, but here it fits. And Elmar and I, we talked about this when we saw the news. They should have continued the CL series.
Yes.
And if they would make a version like this with the CL, then that would be the direct the successor or the digital version of the Leica, of the small Leica 1 model. Because it's really the size, I think, that matters, not that it is both full frame. So, yeah, I don't know about the price. Emma, do you know how much this camera is?
Yeah. Doesn't have the price.
I think like $1,800 or like
Really?
that.
1,800.
For the vintage one, is 1,800?
You mean the deluxe?
Yeah, the deluxe. Oh,
okay. I was asking for the M11D. Yeah.
What is the M11? It's probably like 10 grand, yeah.
Yeah, if it's black paint, with black paint, it's
paint, I think.
most likely.
Mostly because of the paint.
Yeah, then over 10 grand, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and it comes with this super special box. Yeah, I mean, collectors.
I mean, it looks nice.
Enjoy. Yeah, the box looks cool. Of course, it looks nice. To me, this is just, I want to see this on the CL. This design that makes more sense.
Yeah,
because they look so similar to their other 100-year special edition cameras. They're kind of doing a lot of black paint models at the moment. Yeah.
They're really going all out for the 100 years, huh? Releasing all kinds of products.
Yeah. But yeah, this one is, I kind of want to try this, but I know it's a little bit too high of a price for me to try it out. But it's cool. I like this one. But it could have been the CL, and then it would have been amazing. All right. Okay. Good. Let's move on. We have 2 more news to share. Yeah. Okay. Next is a new edition, new issues coming out from iShot. And I found out because on Instagram I saw this reel about it. So iShot is a magazine that does these issues for certain topics, and they decided this time to do a women only issue, which is fine, I guess. The title is kind of like it definitely made me stop and think, is that a good idea? I don't know. So the title is No Man's Land. They want to be a little bit provocative and try to show, or in a way show, what is the female gaze. Sometimes we discuss this, do women have other different ways of seeing, which I'm sure there's something to it, but whenever I see street photography competitions, I can't say this is definitely someone with a female eye, I don't know if you can see a difference, but still, I'm interested to see how it's going to read. They have a reel that explains, what they want to do with this.
I don't have it. I don't think. I don't have any concern that the book will. I think the book is going to do well, just with the photographers that are involved, and the quality.
Yeah, I don't know who's involved because they don't.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but they don't show the list of photographers.
But yeah, definitely the name
Yeah,
is
and
a good marketing.
I wanted to
tactic.
also show it here because I wanted to highlight also this comment here. We decided before we started this show to not go too deep into this topic and share our opinion, because you can never be right, especially if it's like three guys talking about, a women-only issue. But I found it interesting that the account Women Street Photographers here had something to say, and this comment, raised a little bit of a concern about the title. And found some issues with that, let's say. I was surprised to not see any more comments about it.
Who's Marco? Is he the iShot?
Yeah, I'm sure that's the founder and who does the books.
Oh.
And yeah, I don't know. You can discuss this in the chat. I know personally, just as an anecdote, I know a few women street photographers who don't want to be, for example, included in something like this, because, and I can understand a bit, it could also reduces you. It could reduce you to just you're in this book because you are not a man, you're a woman.
Yeah.
So I heard from some street photographers that don't like this kind of project.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle, because I like the title in the sense that it does catches your eye, right? And it's like it makes you want to know more about it.
What was that?
What was that?
That was my mic reset. Sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, the title from a marketing book cover standpoint, it catches people's eyes. Probably gonna get good PR attention. But the other part of it that I don't like about it makes it is you're creating it gives off divisive feelings, like it's man versus women kind of thing, and that was kind of the whole purpose of Women Street Photographers, the group coming together, right? Is like trying to form this community. But now when it has kind of like feminism vibes, where it's like us versus them, that's where. And I've heard it from other female street photographers too. That's how I actually learned about this, was from a female street photographer friend. So yeah, it has like a double-edged sword. So it's good and bad, and I'm sure because of that, it's gonna do well with sales and all that.
Yeah, maybe we do see I don't know, a certain vision that you could say is coming through this issue because they are all female photographers. I don't know. I know a lot of amazing photographers, women street photographers, but I can't say that they have, like, I don't want to say, I also don't want to say like they have a female point of view and that shows in the images, because I can't see it.
Yeah. It's not because you're good because you're a guy, or you're shooting.
Oh, you're
it's kind of like
for,
the same thing.
Women,
like, you're not. It's kind of like saying, you're only good at shooting because you shoot with Leica. It's kind of it's just another marketing tactic, and I mean, when you're judging for festivals or looking at a Instagram page that just you happen to come across, you're not, at least for me, I'm not thinking, is this a male or female? Like, I don't care if it's a male or female or black or white or whatever,
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, it's coming out soon, I guess. You can pre-order it. Let me check.
But maybe I'll do a video on this later once I get more information.
Yeah, I think you have to spend some time with it and really analyze it. Yeah. I just wanted to show it because let's make it in use. Okay. Yeah. To tie in something kind of unrelevant, but I searched for everything that happened in June, and for me this ties this to this story, because my favorite female street photographer is Meryl Schönefeld from the Netherlands. I don't think she lives in the Netherlands anymore, but I'm a huge fan of her street photography, and I just wanted to bring it up here because she just posted this month after a long hiatus of not being on Instagram, basically saying she's trying to go back and sharing photos, and I thought it was kind of fitting showing her after this the iShot magazine news. So, and she's actually someone I want to do an On the Street with episode, and we were in contact. We couldn't do it at the time we wanted to do it because she was moving. But yeah, she's really cool. I love her work. And let's go to the next news, which is coming. It comes from Tim. So this is for me. This is confusing. Why Sony and MX Street Photo? Please explain. What does Sony have to do with this? Are they the sponsor of the contest?
I think they're the main sponsor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
so Mexico Street Photo Festival. Tim is going to be there giving a workshop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are
workshop and one of
you're
the
judging
6
this
judges.
competition.
So, yeah. Yep. The price is pretty good. $6 per photo. I think that's the lowest I've seen, or definitely one of the lowest. It's not as high as the other ones.
That is true.
But the hard part is they're only selecting 20, which is, I think last year was 30, so maybe it was 20 last year too, but it's not a lot. It was definitely not like Oslo where there was 50 images. So this one's going to be interesting.
And so I have high expectations, of course, that you are going to only select the best of the best. You know, you are like the online judge for every street photographer out there.
Yeah. Well, there's 5 other people, so I don't know how that's gonna.
Yeah.
If it's a judging system or what, but it'll be
make us proud.
It'll be interesting.
I want to see the first 3 images. I want to agree with the first 3 places.
First 3.
And what about the guidelines, or do they have any rules? Let's check.
The guidelines,
because that's important.
I didn't even look at it. Let's look at it right now.
So opens to all photographers.
The deadline's on September 21st. The deadline's on September 21st.
Okay, so photograph must be captured spontaneously and in public spaces. Image must be original, curated, created by the photographer, cannot be artificially generated. That's a given, of course. Metadata will be reviewed. So that's already
only
more
one
than most
photograph per
competitions.
finalist. Yeah. Only one photograph per finalist. So you can't have, sometimes you see like 3 photographs from the same person.
Oh, yeah.
So this one, yeah, you can submit as much as you want, but only 1 per photographer.
Yeah.
So I think that's good to have certain guidelines like that.
Yeah, because we know most competitions have very basic rules, and they just want everyone to submit, so they have no restrictions on how old the photo can be.
Yeah.
And this is interesting. The time period of the photographs is irrelevant, but recently captured photographs are encouraged. Of course, this is not really clear. Like, yeah, it's encouraged, but if I submit my best offs from 5 years ago, of course they're going to accept them based on how I read this.
They're just making it harder for the jury.
Yeah. But they're new festival. They're in Mexico. Not everyone can go there. I can understand that they don't want to limit it too much. At least they're saying that they want recent work, but they're not making it a requirement. But I hope that bigger contests, especially these online contests, that take money but they don't do any exhibitions, that they would at least restrict it to like photos taken within the last year or last 2 years. Because then people have.
I mean, the prizes are
motivation.
good. The prizes are good. And limiting to just 20 finalists. Price is more than reasonable. And
Let's see,
yeah,
what's
they
the
have
price?
a venue that's basing off of last year's their venue. They have a nice venue. And then they're gonna show some of our work together with other photographers.
Mhm.
And,
Are you going to do something on your channel about it? Are you going to film a bit?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm usually not good because it's just me. I'm usually not good filming on the spot there. But maybe I'll get some B-roll. But
Yeah,
there's
maybe
going to be
just
a handful
just a
of
walkthrough.
street photographers coming in. Like Eduardo is going to be there.
Ah, okay.
So we're looking to do something together.
Nice. Okay, so you're planning to do
should-
some content outside of the
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah,
Cool,
yeah. And then just basing it off of last year's, like from doing all the reaction videos, this one, the Mexico one, seemed to have more of a, like, I've never seen a lot of the images before. So a lot of the repeat, there wasn't too many repeat images
Okay.
from other festivals. Yeah. So that was refreshing. But maybe because nobody knew about this festival because they're still fairly new. So maybe that had a play in it, but yeah.
Yeah. I think I have a photo in this exhibition here.
Yeah.
Because they have included me. So yeah, I don't know which photo they picked. I just sent them like 5-6 images and told them pick any that you want.
But they had you part of their festival like 2 years ago too, right? Or last year?
Yeah, I was.
Was it 2 years?
Oh, there I am, Alemania. I was there. Yeah, I was one of the speakers, but we did it through Zoom, so online.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could not afford to fly me over. I also could not, unfortunately, afford to take time off for it, or just can't leave for more than a weekend. So that was not possible. Yeah, maybe next time. I don't know. Maybe I can still come. We will see.
There's still 4 months, so you can just maybe create some cash within 4 months.
Yeah. Now for me, the issue is I have to either bring my son with me or, I don't know, make my wife sick so she can take time off from work. Yeah, good. Let's move on because I just saw that we still have one last news. And this is kind of relevant to our community, our scene, because we have 2 street photographers involved in this launch that we could highlight here. So the Fujifilm XE5 was officially released or announced in June. And on paper, it looked like this is going to be the next best street photography camera of the year. I had the X-E4 for a while. All Fujifilm cameras are great for street photography. This one, of course, it's also going to be great for street photography. Personally, I was a little bit underwhelmed by some of the specs because they didn't really upgrade the viewfinder, which is like the main thing I wanted to see upgraded from the X-E4. But it has all the internals of the X106 basically. Plus they created this very compact small 35 equivalent lens, which is cool because that's a very popular street photography focal length. It's not weather sealed, the camera. So weather sealing plus better EVF would have made this like an amazing option. It's still obviously a capable camera. Yeah. So we have here, we already see one guy here in this frame. Who is this guy? Do we know him? Yes, we do. It is Lorenzo Catena. Greetings to Lorenzo to Rome, if he's watching. Sometimes he is. Yeah, he's a friend. He's a fellow street photographer. He has a great eye, and he's kind of. When I saw him in his video, I was like, yeah, that makes sense to have him doing photos for Fujifilm because he has a great eye for these visual, scenes on the street, like with reflections and colors. Great sense in terms of colors. And with street photography, commercial street photography, you have to be a little bit careful. So I know he also takes photos of people's faces, but here he was a little bit more cautious. But he took some really cool photos. Like this one is nice here. Maybe he would normally take a photo of someone here with the face, but it's just cool to see some, street photographers being involved in a. Time's up. We have to end the show. See you next time. No. We will continue, but keep the time in mind. Yeah, this one also I really like. This one is also cool. Definitely check out his video. We will all link it after the stream so you can watch it. We also have Melissa Breyer, I don't know how to pronounce it. I kind of forgot about her because I don't know, I don't really follow her, but I remember the name, and when seeing the photos, I was reminded of her because I saw her in Tim's documentary, Fill the Frame. You featured her in your documentary, right? I think she was even the first one.
She was the
first
first
interview.
one. Yeah.
And she was also involved. She has some cool black and white photos here. So, yeah. Cool to
poetic.
See some. Yeah, she does a very poetic photos.
I think the best part about this camera is under $2,000. Finally, something under $2,000.
Yeah, from your perspective,
Jesus
it sounds
Christ.
like a good deal because you just bought the OM3 and it's in the same price range, right? But you have to consider that the X-E4 when it came out was around 700 or 800 bucks.
Yes.
It's almost half.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are very upset about the price. They made it a bit more of a premium camera. From what I've heard, the materials are better or it just feels better. But in the end, it's still not weather seal like the X100. They didn't upgrade the screen. I think they even downgraded the screen a bit, which is strange. And this film simulation dial they have is, I don't know, I would probably not use it. I was joking in a live stream recently that I would just put a tape over it. Just cover the logo and the name, and then also this little window. And the good thing is that the dial is kind of recessed here in this thing, so you don't really touch it by accident. But for me, it's kind of useless. I would only switch between maybe color and black and white sometimes. But that's Fujifilm. They have to play with that because Gen Z likes film simulations. Or maybe not Gen Z, maybe it's the millennials, I don't know. I should probably love film simulations. Okay. Yeah, that's the last bit of news we have to share. Was kind of a dry month in terms of street photography news. Let's look at some photos now. We have some photos to share. The goal is with this section is to show you guys some photos we took just to motivate ourselves to, present our vision, things we see, give us a little bit of a motivation to take some photos. So let's move on over to the photo of the month. Boom. Hello? Oh yeah, let's go. Okay. I want to start this time because I have the most photos and it will be faster if I do mine first and then you do yours, okay? Is that fine with you guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So because we didn't do it last time, I will start with some photos from May. Yeah, feel free to give your comments on that. I will just start. So first one, this was during the Harbor Festival in Hamburg. I just thought they had like fun shirts on, and it still seems candid, even though we talked a bit after taking the photo. But how can you not take a photo, right? With these shirts, and the guy on the right looks very drunk. And then afterwards, I had to tell them, yeah, cool shirt, like, something, because they definitely saw me taking the photo. And then we took some like post photos, and I wasn't taking the photos of them, but I was just focusing on the shirts. But they were not that interesting, so I chose this one. Okay, next one is from a week later. We had a football team celebrating their promotion to the first league. This is the HSV team, Hamburg's football team. And I went there to take photos, and you take the obvious photos of people cheering and screaming and waving their team flags and stuff like that. I was kind of stuck in this area here where all the toilets were, and I thought, damn, I can't move. Like, I want to go around these things, but there were like barriers, I couldn't move. But when this lady was here coming through, she was picking up all these cans and bottles, because in Germany you get money back when you return your bottles to the supermarket. You get like 20 cents, 25 cents sometimes per bottle. So if you do this at an event like this, you can make some serious money. But she was, she got hit by this smoke thing. I don't know what they're called, but they smell very bad. And she is walking through it, and it's kind of funny. She has to go through a lot to make a bit of money here that day. Okay, one last from May. I was in Oslo for the Street Photography Festival over there, and we had a photo walk the next day. Didn't take too many photos. They have these floating saunas, and people would chill out here and swim. And I thought it was a cool scene. The sauna in front and the modern buildings of the city in the background. This girl here saw us, all the group of photographers taking photos, but then she just kept sitting there, and maybe she enjoyed the attention, I don't know. And then moving over to June. I like this shot. It's kind of, I don't know. I like how the abstractness of it, the minimalism of it. This was in North Germany. There's a international art exhibition, and this is a artwork from my grandfather, who for the first time had a piece of his art exhibited in Germany. So this was the first time his work was shown in Germany. I don't really show the whole piece here, but I still like this because it's kind of like, ooh, what is behind this wall? And they unfortunately fucked up his art piece, because these two baskets, they are supposed to sit in front of the painting. This is modeling a famous Japanese school sports game. They messed it up, and we told the curators, and then they fixed it. My mother and my brother and I, we went there to check it out, and I took some photos. So that's that. This was 3 weeks ago, maybe. I was giving my first ever group workshop in Hamburg. It was raining all day. This is kind of a random, take it or don't take it shot. Like, it's easy to do, but I thought it was still good to have it, because you see this everywhere, especially in Hamburg. In whole Germany, you see this. It's basically, bachelor party. So the guys having a fun day before they get married. Okay, last photo? No, two. One before the last. This is also in Hamburg at the harbor. There was a new container ship was I don't know, set into the harbor, and the organization of this export company did a whole celebration for that. I went out with my Ricos and my little flash, and lately I enjoy doing using flash to fill shadows, and if I would not have brought my flash here, then this would just be a silhouette. Of course, you can see that this is a flash photo, but I still think it looks natural. I don't like flash photos where the background is totally black. So I like how you can still see everything. And yeah, the moment was also cool. Good. Last one.
I love this one.
You mean the last one? Or this one?
No, this one with the flash and the
okay. Yeah, thanks.
the child. And
I love the aesthetic, and I'm using flash more now. I'm bringing a flash now every time I leave the house, which is totally unusual for me, because it's always good to have a flash just in case, and especially when it's good weather and sunny, people don't even see the flash. This one is also from the same day, totally different style now with black and white, but I thought it just had to be black and white. GS3X this time, without the flash, of course. And these were my images from the last 2 months. All right. Phew. Who wants to be next?
they're really cool.
Tim? Elmar?
I could be next.
Yeah, I can go.
I don't care.
Yeah, I can go.
Good answer.
I just have one.
Okay. Now let's do Tim now then. You still have one from May. I don't know if you remember. So I still had this one included.
Oh, okay.
Is this in Hawaii or
Let's see.
somewhere else?
I gotta see the delay. I'm looking back on the YouTube channel delayed. So once it comes up. Oh yeah. Well, that was taken in April, but it was meant to share for May. That was when I was in Korea. So I didn't have too much time to shoot around Korea, and shooting Korea I think is pretty hard because people are just very aware, especially if you are a foreigner. I don't know if anybody in the chat or if you guys shot in Korea, it's probably very hard. When you have a camera, people just spot you right away. And
Oh, really?
there was also another issue. Yeah,
Really?
there was an issue, I think a week before that, like an influencer, I forget what his name was, but he did something in Korea, and there was another guy that did something major in the Philippines, and they're like held captive. So I think that was still like on top of mind for a lot of the
Oh,
citizens.
I think
there,
I
but-
know who you mean.
Yeah.
Might even remember
So
his
that kind
name.
of happened.
Yeah,
Johnny
I heard about
Tsunami?
this
Or
guy.
I
He
don't
was
know.
disrespecting like the
Yeah.
Korea, and he almost went to prison, or I think he even went. He is in prison now. I don't know.
I think he went, yeah. Well, the one in the Philippines is still held captive. He's like a Russian influencer. I don't know.
Oh,
But,
Russian. Okay.
That was very top of
Maybe.
mind of people.
Hmm. Yeah.
But this is probably the best shot I got there because I just couldn't get anything. But I like this one. I saw it kind of several feet away, and I knew I could get something like this because they're just stationary, right? And I like the colors of the chairs, and then I like the lights and the lights in the reflection. And I was just hoping as they wouldn't move, the guy in the blue shirt wouldn't like make eye contact with me as I got there. So I took a couple shots, and with each shot I moved a step closer. So I was happy that he didn't care that I was taking his photo. So yeah, this is in Seoul.
Yeah. It's hard to. I mean, you see, you see the Korean text here, but for me it looks like could be anywhere. It's hard to read where this is, but I like this moment. It's cool how they're all like on the table, down on the table. Makes me wonder what the guy on the right is doing. Is he sleeping or stomach hurts because he ate bad food. Or, but
It looks like they just landed because the luggage right there behind him.
Okay.
So it looks like they landed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Korea's too much for them, maybe.
Yeah.
So, and then you had some
1 June.
an exciting night, doing some action photography with very low light or
Front row. I paid front
seat.
row tickets to just take pictures of a WWE event, and obviously I don't have multiple cameras or zoom lenses. I just have my Olympus 35 millimeter focal length, and so
I love this photo. I
getting
saw
shots
it
of
and
the
I
action,
thought this was
but
the best from the ones you shared.
yeah, this was the best. This was the best shot of the night. He was right in front of us. If you guys don't know, that's Logan Paul, and behind there in the white shirt is a UFC star, Raul Rosa. So it was great. It was towards the end. It was the last match of the night, so they're just capturing that emotional defeat on Logan's face. And I was able to hang over the ledge and just take a few vertical shots without really knowing if I got the framing correctly. And also got an autographed Prime bottle out of it too from Logan, so it was double whammy.
Nice.
Home run.
And tell us a bit more about the background. Like, why did you have a front seat? You went there with your kids, right?
Yeah, I went with my kids. It was just spur of the moment. Like, okay, they're gonna be in LA, which is not too far from Hawaii. It's like a 5-hour flight, and so, I figured at this age of my life doesn't hurt to spend and not feel guilty about it. It's like a lot of Leica spenders. They buy the camera and they don't feel guilty about it. So this is my way of buying a Leica.
Okay. Yeah, you posted something in your story that it's more like important to create experiences, right, than to buy something nice. And
yeah,
really
especially
cool.
when you have kids. When you have kids, especially when you have kids, you want to create those experiences.
It's funny we talk about this now because my son's birthday is around the corner. It's in July, and we wanted to go to Legoland in Denmark. They have this huge Lego land, which is amazing. It's crazy. But we also have a Lego store now in Hamburg, which they opened a experience space or something, which is also fun to go to. It's local, so we don't have to drive to Denmark. It's much smaller, obviously, but it's still an experience we can have. But we are actually now being cheap by not doing the main event, which is going to Denmark to Legoland, but go to the Lego store and have this little experience.
Well, you can go to it when he's older. He probably would appreciate it more when he's older.
I think we have to
you
go.
Gotta build it. You're building it up.
Yeah, I want to build it up so he's not used to getting the most amazing birthday experiences. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but I like this photo because if you know who he is, he has, with the big Prime bottle here and the small bottles in front of him, like this is his brand, right? And I like how this finger over him is pointing down to him, probably. We have the camera guy here, the TV guy or whatever, TV camera here pointed at him. Yeah. People look at him, like all the attention is towards him, but he is having a moment for himself, but not really, but he is having a moment.
The other really thing I noticed too, why the UFC fighter is so interesting, because he has that look, he has that sympathy look for defeat with Paul, so it looks like they're connecting. Because I think 2 fights ago he lost. He had his first loss. So even though this is like scripted WWE, he's still, because Logan Paul's portraying the defeat so well, I think Rosa's here. He can feel that. So I think that's why it makes sense.
Yeah, but we also need to keep in mind that Long Paul knows how to sell emotions over cameras or over a screen.
Really good.
So he really knows how to act in this situation to give good images or good pictures for TV or cameras or for the show.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the camera is pointed at him, and he for sure knows that, and yeah. All right, good. That was Tim's 2 months. Elmar, you have photos from May, but not for June, right? Let me see.
Yeah, right. I was busy in June.
Yeah.
And also, I shot a lot of analog stuff, so I don't have the images yet.
Yeah, it's harder to share film stuff if you don't have it developed yet and stuff like that. So you send me a Google Drive link. If you want, I can open also in the browser. I can open all of them, but I just picked 3 that I liked.
Yes.
Maybe they're not the ones you want to show, but you let me know. I will just start with the first one. This seems like, why would you choose this out of all the ones? But I like it. Because
I don't see it yet, but yeah.
It's the one with the big grass field and the guy doing push-ups with the dog
okay.
next to it. Yeah, of course, it's like, you're too far away, but it makes it kind of fun to me. I like that it's like so small, and because it makes the space feel unnecessarily huge.
Good layering
I love the dog interaction with the human. He's looking at the guy, and the guy is doing push-ups. In the background are also some people passing by, and this old man is also running there. In my Google Drive, I sent like 6 images. It was like because I took them on a trip to Cologne. These images, this is in Cologne, and I took also some freshly images in Berlin at that time, and I found it funny because the similarities in these images from one city to another appeared.
Okay.
So
yeah. It's without the dog.
And his red sweater pops out too. His red sweater, and then the position of the dog.
Oh yeah,
sideways.
right. Red is kind of the perfect color, because otherwise it will be hard to see what he's doing. But if you would have like a black shirt or black sweater or something like that, then it would be harder. But yeah, the dog is kind of like, are you done yet? Can we move on? Like, no, I gotta do these 10 more push-ups. It's like a micro story. Okay. I don't even remember which one I chose. Yeah, this one I also thought was kind of fun. Like this guy taking a photo of his. It looks like a McDonald's.
Yeah, it's Burger King.
Or Burger
King bag, and I found it kind of funny because he was standing there and taking this image of this bag, and that's the story.
What is it for?
Why?
It looks like he's using a real camera, or did he use his phone? I can't really see it.
It was a camera, but I don't know which camera it was. But he got there, placed it, and took the image. Yeah,
should have asked
that's
him,
the story.
Like, what is this for? What's the story here? This is my first ever Burger King meal, so I want to take a photo to remember it.
Yeah, it's because it's nothing special, but it was so special that he needed to take a image there. So,
or maybe he did do like a juxtaposition photo, and something in the background was layered against the bag, but you didn't see it because you were not looking at in his direction. And this is Berlin, right? This is at this
this is Berlin.
Pariser Platz, right?
No, this is at Brandenburger Tor.
Yeah. But I mean the place behind it, I think, is called Pariser Platz.
It's called Pariser Platz. Yeah, then it's that.
Okay.
And I hope the next image is the one with the
Let's
4
see.
people.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, because I picked only 3. let me know if it's not the one. Then I will show the one you mean. So I picked this one as the next. It's not the one you wanted to see next, right?
Yeah, it takes some time,
Okay.
sadly, until I see it. Ah, okay. No, it's not, but it's, yeah, I love the scene. It's a typical Berlin scene. It's like Currywurstbuden everywhere, and people are eating Currywurst. And this is, I also had some pictures of that in Cologne. It's like an old man looking at stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
you
eats
make
his
a
Currywurst and
You should make a series about it. Old man looking at stuff.
yeah, and he looked at the guy with the bicycle like with his expression like, why is he driving there? And yeah, and also with his sandals, with white socks. It's a typical German with his vest and his caro hemd. I don't know how to call it in English.
So for non-Germans,
He looks like a
maybe,
street photographer. What he's wearing.
yeah, maybe it's a street photographer.
Is that a camera? Is that a camera bag?
No, but Emma's right. He has the typical German steez. This is old German man's fashion. He is on point here. White socks and sandals, that's a sin in Germany, but everyone is kind of doing it. It's kind of an old man thing. Okay, let me know which one you meant before I showed you this. I will switch to the browser. I have your Drive folder open here, so if you want, we can look at that.
With the 4 people eating.
Ah, okay, this one, yeah, the first one. Okay, yeah. I don't actually remember seeing this. Maybe I did not really pay attention, but okay. I get what you were seeing here. Lots of gestures here. The guy on the left, you know how he's licking up his. His carrier for the food, and he's licking it with really passion. I can say that. He's really passionate about it. It's something you're not supposed to do, right?
Yeah, that's not supposed to do this in
bad
public.
manners to do this.
Yeah, especially with a glass carrier, because you can see his tongue really out. So yeah, and the other guy is with his glasses. Both with his glasses, eating, and yeah.
Or you could say the two on the right, they are embarrassed. That's why they, are doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. But also it's a typical German scene. I must say it's. I don't know if there's some place else where you can see that, but it's for me that's kind of typical German. You bring your own food with your carriers and eat there, and also make some Mittagspause. Yeah, the other
lunch
two guys
break,
are making Mittagspause, lunch break. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, dude on the right is a
that's
typical office worker in Germany.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I don't want to take too much time from the show. That's all.
All right. Yeah, then we are slowly reaching the end. I mean, we are at the end. And anything coming up in July? Let's talk a little bit about July. Any summer plans? Should we do a summer break or should we do another show? I think we can do another show. Are you guys traveling? Are you still here? End of July?
Do another show.
I'm traveling, but I can stream from around the world, everywhere I have internet.
Oh, okay, that's good. Do you want to share where you're traveling to?
I don't know yet. Maybe France or Denmark, eventually Denmark. Yeah.
Okay. With your camper?
Yeah, camper.
Nice.
Of course, if we go to Denmark, we will pass Hamburg. Maybe you have time.
Oh yeah. Of course, let me know. Cool. Tim, do you have any summer plans? Nothing planned? Nope.
No plans. Just YouTube.
Okay.
Just talking out of my butt.
Any future videos you want to tease? Topics?
Well, I'm waiting for Brussels to post their finalist image, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they want me to do a video or
Maybe
what.
they're scared
They're
now.
thinking
You're trying to scare
they're like
all the
ghosting me.
competitions.
I don't know what's going on, but that's supposed to be working on that already, but I don't know. Yeah.
No one is safe anymore. Tim gets everyone. But I like your reviews, and we need someone who just shares like honest thoughts without being too careful not to hurt someone's feelings. Yeah, okay, good. What can I tease? Not much really. I'm in a weird situation where I don't have anything produced that I'm working on. I actually have to produce something now, but that doesn't mean that nothing will come on my channel. I am working on a zine, which you will hear about soon, and I'm also filming a week in my life kind of vlog. So right now I'm filming a time lapse with my action cam, and you will see what I did this week. Maybe next week or in 2 weeks you will see a vlog where you see the zine making process. I share some day in the life things. I went out today in the morning to do some street photography, and this weekend I will have lots of things to do. We have the Harley Days coming up in Hamburg, which is a huge biker meeting. I've never been to it. I will go there on Sunday, try to take some photos of them, and you will all see that in the vlog. Just trying something new, because I don't have any topics anymore. What should I do videos on,
You've been doing it for so long.
Huh?
You've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, and I don't want to put in the effort into a video if I don't feel like it's worth it, I'm not saying, a lot of people will say, yeah, sharing a vlog is also not worth it, but at least I can show the process until I get a cool idea to do a video about. Because, I want to do more meaningful stuff. Like, I definitely want to continue the On the Street with series, and but I have to spend a lot of money to produce them, because I have to travel to people and have to, find someone to take care of my son.
I'll travel to you. I'll travel to you.
Yeah.
I'll go
but
to you.
if I would do something with you, it should be in Hawaii, I feel like. So I should come visit you, but
Yeah, when I'll do a GoFundMe. We'll do a GoFundMe.
Yeah, we have to do a
GoFundMe
GoFundMe or something like that.
Get Sam and his family to Hawaii.
Yeah. In July and August, my wife has vacation or off from work. It's the only time where we can do something, because with her work, she only has summer off, which is
so it's
not
her
always
fault.
ideal.
It's your wife's fault. I see.
Yeah, it's my wife's fault. Blame her, please. No, blame her for the lack of content on my channel. No, but that means I have the opportunity to, go away for maybe 3-4 days and come back and produce content, and that's what I want to do. Let's see if I can make it, and also to not repeat myself here every time, but no, I should probably not talk about it.
Next time.
But
oh my God.
You all know that I will be busy doing content with a certain camera in summer. So I'm also planning for that, what I want to do with that. We're also currently discussing, Rico and I discussing like first events. So expect some events. At least in Germany, you can expect an event during the launch. So that's all I have to share. Thanks for hanging out with us. And next time we will have another juicy topic discussion. This time we just shared some news and our photos. And I can already tease one of the future topics. I really want to do an episode about AI, I know people are kind of tired of AI, of the whole topic of AI, but I think we should dedicate an episode, invite some guests. I have 2 guests that I want to invite that I can call experts in this field because they're using AI in their field of work, just to really analyze the situation, make some predictions up, see how this thing can change, especially our world, like the photography world. And I mean, street photographers have an advantage because we only shoot what's really out there. But yeah, we want to have a conversation about that in the future. So stay tuned for that. Maybe in July, maybe in August. We will see. Okay, that's it. I'm out. Cue the outro music.
Yeah.
So, as always, this show stays on my channel. If you want to rewatch it, go to the live tab on my channel. Then you can watch it. And I see you again on my Sunday streams. If you want to see another live stream, catch me on Sunday, 9 p.m. every week. I'm editing photos. I'm sequencing for my zine, all live. So you can join me and talk shit with me. Okay, and go to Tim's channel, check out his latest videos, and I don't know, say hi to Elmo on Instagram.
Hey, hi.
Okay.
Moin.
Moin.
All right, thanks guys. Bye.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye,
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Later, chat.
Ciao.